Does, who was she? Minda wound up being Langley, but who was she before that?
See right down here for my, remember Jack Beavers? Married Mama's sister.
Yeah, I remember a beat.
Sadie. Sadie was Mama's sister.
Oh, yeah.
See that bird right here. Yeah, Jack Beavers. Yeah. Hell, there's many of these people that drag red See right here. Where their bird. You see that was Mama's sister.
Okay.
Sadie. You see, Mama had a half brother. See, Grandpa's first wife was a full-blood Cherokee. Well, they had 3 kids, and 2 of them was up there at the 6-yellow graveyard in her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And Uncle Nick. Now, he moved off up in Hamilton County and worked in oil fields. Them old gas wells, too. When they used to run with them gasoline engines, he'd run around and
keep them going.
Yeah, keep them going, and he'd run his trap line, too.
Oh, yeah.
I got to when Dad lived up there in Creek. Well, they wouldn't buy fox in Kansas. You couldn't sell them. But hell, he'd bring them down there, and Dad'd take them up there and sell them.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, what was the full-blood Cherokee, his first wife? What was her name?
That was Grandpa. I'll show you where his first wife was a full-blood.
That's not the same.
Grandpa Parkhurst?
Grandpa Moore.
His Grandpa Moore.
Oh, okay.
And then Mama's dad. Some of these right here you've seen in Oklahoma history book. That monument right there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's in Oklahoma history book.
Oh, who's that?
That's that damn Rawls, I think. He was a chief.
Oh, yeah.
He was what now?
Reverend Jesse Bushyhead.
Yeah,
he's in Oklahoma history.
Yeah, he's in Oklahoma history. That monument's in the history book.
What's his name, brother? Reverend Jesse Bushyhead was a man noble in person and noble in heart.
Boy, it is. Cherokee must have dug deep in their pocket, come up with enough money to put that sucker up there.
Yeah,
They brought a little money over, didn't they? Yeah. Some of them did. Yeah, some of them had a little money, some of them about starved to death.
Yeah, when did he die?
1944.
1940. Oh, that's 1840.
Oh, is it?
They said it can't be 1940.
No, 1844.
Died of what? No.
Died in something Cherokee Nation.
Yeah. I see my
What was his name?
Morris. Love
Morris?
Love Dad.
Uh-huh.
He come over, he made about 6 trips, bringing them people out of Tennessee and Georgia.
Is that right over to this area?
Over into the Indian Territory.
Oh, be that.
Yeah.
See, this is in the
Yeah,
history
Grandpa
book.
said
Trade.
that sometimes he'd ride all day and all he'd have to eat was a biscuit or an onion.
Is that
Yeah,
onion?
Oh, yeah.
I got him some. Where'd he get his roll at?
That's what they did have. He had bacon over
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll do my choice.
Makes you wonder what was actually here
grandpa's glove. Now he was a deputy down there on Fort Smith.
Oh, there, he was one of his deputies.
He one of his deputies. Of course, hell, they had a bunch over in Indian Territory.
Yeah.
You know, but they couldn't come over in there. They deputized, and they'd take them over to Fort Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's his second one, I guess. There's 2 years difference in their age, 2 years difference in their age.
Yeah.
That's what Mom and Dad was. There's 2 years difference in their age. And 2 days. They're born in March. Makes 2 days difference in their birthday.
Oh, yeah.
One was
Yeah.
the 21st, one was the 20th. Yeah. And that's their mama's sister there. Dawson.
Oh.
She died.
Need to set that back on there.
Yeah,
Back
I think I tried to steal it, but I ain't hawking enough. I'm gonna have to get my buddy digs these graves here.
Had to put some glue or something back on it, won't you?
We'll get that backhoe in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got a backhoe. He got it on his grave. God dang it.
Oh,
Young lady. Yeah, they got a raise over there. They don't set the by grave people.
oh, yeah, there's a funeral home.
Funeral home. They get $300 now for opening and closing grave. Used to be $125.
Is that right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, $125 now. Then it's $300. Opening and closing the grave.
Where's that at? Oh, yeah.
I got some of them now. Now see the Indians. Now the Indians, they're Indians because of the birds, but all they'll have is a graveside safe.
They won't do no casting.
Chapel or nothing like that. They just have graveside.
Better.
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's better than cremating. Better than cremating. Now that there's an old one. Well, at Watts, out there in Watts where the rodeo ground is, you go across the railroad track and go around what they used to call Old Lake Road and go out, and just about a quarter mile before you hit Arkansas 59. Hell, it's growed up. There's trees in that damn thing.
Oh, you mean they ain't
Oh,
no
they-
markers or nothing out
Oh
there?
yeah, most of them sandstone.
Yeah.
Most of them sandstone. They few up.
You had to know where you're going, what
Yeah.
you're looking for.
Yeah,
to
you
find
know.
it. As long as you don't damn copperhead or something.
Boy, that ain't no kidding. They
Find more copperhead.
They know the old man, his name was William. He's the one that donated that land over where the old college schoolhouse was.
Yeah.
It's fell down now, but he donated that for school, and then later on become a kind of a little community center.
Yeah.
And they'd have dinners over there every so often. And I was looking the other day, and they never have fenced that damn thing off. I said, well, I ought to go over there and lay claim to it, I guess. I said,
Yeah.
it's probably over there in Washington County. See, it's just, it's right there in Washington County.
Who all's buried there now?
Well, I imagine there's some. I know. One tell us that's where
The old
Andrew
the old
Jackson
Parkhurst.
Langley's
Yeah,
parents was buried.
Yeah,
over
yeah,
there.
His parents were okay.
That'd be your great grand.
Right.
yeah.
So he wasn't the only one that. He wasn't the first one that was here. His parents were here also.
I guess that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know when the Langleys and stuff actually came up here, and the Parkhurst actually come in this area.
They was, the old home place where the old Parkhurst place was right down where the old colony schoolhouse is. About a quarter of a mile.
I don't know where that's at.
Well, all the way down there is a foundation where the old house used to be. And that's where I guess all them kids were born.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I got that's been a while.
Oh,
Now, where
Was
was?
Back in here somewhere? you
Hell,
think?
that was even before the Indians came in this area, wasn't it? That had to have been before the Indians came, wasn't it?
How did we get hooked up on the Trail of Tears? So the Parkhurst? Is that what that is?
I don't know if we got
On the mall.
more.
Morris. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only more.
So they were here before then.
See, now something about the Dawes rolls, the way I understand it, because the reason Granddad and them Langley wasn't on the Dawes rolls, I think on his mother was down. And according to the picture, she was at least half or more Cherokee.
Yeah.
She looked like Cherokee in it. But the way I understood it, they didn't come on the Trail of Tears. They was some of the that hung out in the background and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
and
they, you
later
know,
on,
they just kept, you know, Lord,
Yeah.
they started way back there.
and a lot of them was
In the
embarrassed about
Carolinas,
it.
you know, some of them from the Carolinas.
Yeah.
I think they was some of the first, and then they got on down to Tennessee and Georgia.
Yeah, see, North Carolina, see, that's where we was at up there, you know, on the Appalachian Mountains last, 3 or 4 years ago when we was over there.
Mhm.
Yeah, that Cherokee, what do they call that Cherokee?
I can see why they wouldn't want to leave that
Oh.
place. Hey, you ever been over there? You talk about,
Oh, they say.
oh, hell, I can see why they'd had to shoot me to get me out of there, too.
Yeah, they run along.
Yeah,
Oklahoma was the only place they had left.
yeah,
In 1907, well, they kicked that open and
yeah.
about run them all out of there. They over there around Kenwood.
Uh-huh.
Back in there, see, that's a reservation.
Yeah.
Well, went from across to North Point of Oklahoma, you know, Cherokee Nation.
Yeah,
When they first laid it out.
yeah.
Indian territory.
Yeah, they had some good
Yeah.
land and stuff, I'll tell you. A lot of oil.
Is
Oh,
that
Lord
right?
God,
Everything
yeah.
else.
Them Osage boy, they really got it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But show you how our government worked. They said them Indians didn't have enough money, which they didn't.
Yeah.
But they, well, Lord God, no. But what they done, they put a white man in charge of his head right. Well, guess what happened to the Indians? They got run over by cars, trains.
Oh, yeah.
That white man wound up as a whole head, all the head rights on.
Yeah.
That's pretty like putting a fox in
Yeah, he keeps his Indians for whiskey.
Well, they're doing that.
Yeah, they's happy.
Well, Lord, yeah, as long as they had that two geese. As long as they had two geese.
So we think that the Morris came over on the trail. Then we think
He
that
helped guide them on the
we think the
trail.
Parkhurst were over here beforehand.
Well, I don't know how they had to be. For
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I come here in 1838 to the church there. That's private business.
Well, man, they some of them graves over there on them Parkhurst were 17 and
Is that right?
yeah.
So they've been here way longer.
Yeah.
They've been there quite a while. You know, that's before they Indians. They brought them into this country.
Of course, it's probably
Yeah, yeah.
So that's some.
Yeah, that was the ones you know that they were moving.
that was the Cherokee.
It's the Morris. It's the Parkhurst, and we don't know about Langley. We don't know when that came over. We don't have no clue on that.
There's no gal she was history on the north.
Oh.
Right there's about 20 deputies on
Yeah.
shot.
What happened to him now?
There's about 20 deputies been on his tail before they run him out down there and watch and shot him. Out there on Main Street.
What, he killed somebody or what the hell?
Yeah, he shot an old man down there. He run for long, he broke in there one night, kicked his brother. And the old boy on the store walked in.
He just shot
He
him.
shot him. he didn't put a bad shot.
There was double key in there somehow. Yeah, it might have been.
Who?
I think Granddad's sister. Yeah, wasn't there a January on down there underneath
Yeah,
that tree?
yeah.
This would be their
So Granddad's sister.
I believe that's right.
right.
Your granddad.
My granddad,
What was his-
Robert Eldon's
Robert L's sister. Yeah.
sister.
All these granddads floating
Married
around. You gotta
in
watch that.
I believe that's right. About the same age I was, wasn't he? 1960.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. They had several kids. I know they used to come up to the house all the time, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, they,
In fact, the kids was here last time.
yeah. He used to come out from home there quite a little bit. Is that
Yeah.
one of the deals?
And there'll be a hump just before you, right up on top of that hump, you can see.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's right off here on your left.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go through Watts, go by the railroad rodeo.
Yeah, go around the lake, and then when you come up to the hump,
That hump,
It's on the left.
you see it over on the left. Well, that's where the Brady Cemetery is. But it's grown up. Dad, I guess. The U.S. government ever signed a treaty with
Proctor.
Zeke.
Zeke Proctor.
Yeah.
Now what did he Spivey say about him?
You remember he wanted to tell us about that because there was a feud going on or
Yeah,
something.
having the back.
Yeah, between him and the Becks. And he said that it happened down there, what, Flint Creek?
Down at Flint, there used to be an old grist mill store down there. And they was going to have a shootout. And one of them women, one of them Beck women stepped in front. Killed her.
They killed her.
Yeah. And then there's one, and then when they had them the court, and where they go snake, courtroom, old Lee took his pistol in there, and the Becks had their pistol in there, and they had a shootout there, killed the court clerk. And there was 4 or 5 of them.
Killed 4 or 5 of them right there,
right there in the
courthouse.
And then they finally signed a treaty for him,
And
huh?
the U.S. government said, this has went far enough, we're going to sign a treaty with him.
Yeah, everything's forgiven right now.
And turned him loose, and he died of pneumonia.
Is that right?
He's about 67, I believe, Grandpa.
Yeah. They say,
Oh, you used to ride with him.
Might have been the only treaty they ever held up to.
Yeah. I got to take it over to Zeke. Grandpa's riding on. Ride down
hey, boy, come on.
Kept going.
See,
They rode about a quarter of a mile. Old Zeke looked over Grandpa just a minute and said, said somebody got a conjure on my gun. Put a conjure on him, he couldn't shoot that thing.
conjure, huh?
Yeah.
Got a conjure on his gun.
Or you know, back then when there wasn't much law and stuff, you had to watch what you said and who you said it to, didn't you?
He'd come to Grandpa on Lakewood. Never know, all hours of the night. He'd go down there, but his horse was born. He'd just come up there and open the door and walk in. He'd never know.
Yeah.
And Mama, she just a little old girl. Oh, they just scared the hell out of her. He'd tell her, said, I'm going to bust you. That means you're going to kiss her. Boy, she'd take you out of the house. They had a big old beard.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm going to bust you.
Was he Zeke? Was he an Indian?
Yeah.
Or he was Indian?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's down here full blood. Full blood. I say, I tell you about old Jesse Bushy head there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that plaque. So here we are at the Lightning Ridge Community Church in Westville, Oklahoma. And this is where we have our get-together with all the Parkhurst and Langleys and probably a few more. Now we're going to take a little walk inside and while people are getting ready to eat. As you can tell, it's a nice, quaint little church. Pretty neat. Oh, there he is. Looky there. Said looky there.
Leslie was signed for me.
Colleen and the orange people. I like the invented Crawford. Did you want a crunchy or a red?
Well, somebody give me a dollar.
Hey guys, we're doing some history research on the Parkhurst / Langley / Morris family here, and what we want to do is what I'd like to hear is who you are and then how you're kin to the Parkhurst, and we'll go around with each at least main family branch if possible. I mean, obviously kids don't really need to do it if the parents have already told the story. So, who do you want to start with?
The man right there eating that. Yeah, right there. He can eat a lot right there.
Yeah, let him.
He's the elder.
Can he finish eating first?
Yeah.
So what'd you say again?
I said, let me finish eating first.
Nettie Morris's granddaughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nettie Parkhurst Morris's granddaughter.
Right.
Okay. And that's her kids right there.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
Karen.
Okay. Then where does it go on from there? You're Karen, and then who else?
I'm Dana.
Okay.
Yeah, right over here.
Raymond's over there. Where's Diane?
So that's one of the original 12,
Okay.
and Nettie.
And
And then there's Wayne, his wife over there represents Uncle Noah. That's the second one. And then there's A.D.
Mary Ann. Yeah.
Well, I'll call you A.D.
Yeah.
That, he springs from Aunt Mary,
Right.
Faith. And then there's
David's.
David Glenn. Glenn, yeah, he's the same as for Faith. He springs from that side of the family, Aunt Ned's. And then Uncle Tom. And then there's Uncle Tom, yeah. Eva's still there. She's springs from Uncle Tom.
So it's you done? Okay.
I'm from Uncle George. Who else is that? And Pauline, she's from Uncle Tom.
They was all Parkhurst.
I'm Parkhurst / Langley. My was a Langley before she married that.
There's a
Karen, they
bunch
need
of
to
double
call.
cousins there.
Yes.
We're done.
Yeah.
Okay. Who were the original 12?
Well, it was 7 boys and 5 girls.
Huh?
It was Uncle Chester, and then Aunt Hattie, Aunt Betty, and Aunt Mary, and
Henry,
Uncle Tom, and Uncle Noah, Uncle Henry, Aunt Julie, my dad, Uncle George, and Uncle Jesse, and Aunt Rena, and Uncle Johnny.
Okay.
Supposed to be 12.
yeah, 12.
Okay, does anybody know where the Parkhurst before the ones in the cemetery would be buried?
Yeah. This old cemetery that's all grown up weeds
Right.
out there by the lake, that's where the original one was. Yale hired some people, went out there and cleaned that thing off one year. I bet it's all grown up.
Oh, it's all grown up again.
Yeah. Somebody needs to grade that thing off and creosote or something, keep them trees from growing, and keep all them ticks away and all that.
What
Oh, yeah.
Parkhurst are buried out there, Bill?
Well, Grandpa William,
William's his name, isn't it?
yeah, and his wife,
Margaret?
Margaret, which was she was the midwife, and there's several of them out there. I got pictures of tombstones.
I was just saying, the tombstone's still.
There's two of them, most of them sandstone. A lot of them
A
sandstone.
lot of them sandstone, but there was a lot of good-looking tombstones out there.
What time frame are we?
Tall, slender ones.
What time frame are we talking that they were here at that point?
Oh, you're talking about around the Civil War time, from there on up.
Okay,
Let's see. Grandpa William Parkhurst and his wife Margaret came after the Civil War from Illinois and came down here and settled here in, what's that county?
Washington, yeah.
Well, there was no across in Arkansas.
That's Washington, yeah.
That Washington?
You want to be?
Yeah. I was trying to think of the name of that colony. Yeah, the colony community.
Yeah, it's Cincinnati, or
Yeah.
run below it, but then the old
The
college.
colony is on this side of the river.
Yeah, south.
It's on the west side of the river.
south side.
It's on the south side, the river runs this way.
Through there, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
that's the Illinois River, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that divides Oklahoma and Arkansas. Well, is the colony on the west side of the Illinois or east side?
Right where the Illinois comes into Oklahoma, it's running east and west.
I know it's straight south of Siloam.
Yes.
Yeah.
About 10 miles.
South
Yeah,
side.
59, Arkansas 59, not Oklahoma, but Arkansas.
Okay, then it's on the Arkansas side. then.
Arkansas side.
On the east side of Illinois.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And the old home is still there.
The old foundation, you can still see the old foundation there.
Yeah, well, I saw it here 5 or 6 years ago. I saw the whole house. It's still there. I think it's torn down now or fell down or
It's a
something.
quarter mile from old college schoolhouse, then turn west,
He,
first place down there.
Grandpa Parkhurst built the old colony school. He and all the people around there, they built it to have a place for their kids to go to school. And also they used it for church. They used it for all kinds of reunions.
Yeah, community too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Community center.
Well, Wayne, what would it cost if we had those weeds cut down and had it cleaned off? Could we get someone?
Well, I'll
to
tell
do
you
that?
what, way it is, like it is right now.
Couldn't get anyone.
The only thing that keeps you from doing a decent job is because of the rocks in there piled up. See all them piled rocks?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Now, you know,
That would be bad.
it takes quite a few people.
Well, you need several weed eaters,
Oh, you gotta-
and you need a weed eater's got a blade on it to cut them sprouts.
Well, you got a chainsaw in there at the bottom there, Mark, they brush in there,
Yeah,
they
there
do.
could be some.
They little saplings in there. Yeah, you know, you're talking about 4 or
Well, you
5
can't get
days
in there.
hard work.
You gotta cross through a fence to get into it.
Wayne, do they have that prison work people?
There should probably be a wire gate around there someplace.
Home, they got
Maybe we can get into it.
the Eastern State
We have to go
Hospital,
through a fence to get into it.
prison kind of deal in, and they put these guys out, playing that thing like that, we got something like
Yeah,
that.
no, we should. Over in Arkansas.
ship you some down.
So we
We'll
were,
mix them up, maybe we should get a little work out of it.
so we were,
And,
so we were off then
because there
on
wasn't
the
any
dates.
doctors within 100 miles.
He's saying 1860, Here's 1838, 1840s.
Huh?
Before she was married.
Oh,
He said Civil War, that's 20 years later.
okay, I got that.
Well, you just have to look at the
See
cemetery.
what I'm saying?
I wanna go see the cemetery.
But that fascinates me, because I always had.
Well, I'll give you a copy.
He's got a lot of
I'll be sending out
Well, it
copies of
sounds
the
like.
story.
You need to
Well,
get
he's
his
writing
address
books and stuff.
But she did a lot of the,
He got a lot of stuff.
the Indians and Indian territory didn't have any doctors at all. All they had was just their medicine men. So she had to do all the work for them on
Yeah, she's ready to go back.
free gratis, you know?
And I always had liver babies.
Did you tell her back?
I honestly, I guess, it's genetic or something.
Right.
See you later.
I was asking my obviously to report on midwifery, and I came over to mother and I said, I found a need of workers.
Yeah.
That's what it said, she was the first registered midwife.
Yeah.
It's always the sunny side to the divorce.
But I love delivering babies so well, and
They called her Granny Parkhurst.
Yeah, that piece of paper I have is Granny and Grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Granny and Grandpa's place.
And not only did she heal everybody and on the healing that you get, but she raised 8 kids during all this. Also, 2 or 3 weeks, went home. And when she come back, the last time, she'd been gone for 2 or 2.5 weeks, it said, she come back and she stopped. She stopped by Aunt Net's. She heard that
the metal ones.
that Dan, her boy Dan, was sick. And I think she found out that doctor and checking everything, she knew he was terminal. And she, they said that it probably was her nerves or whatnot, but she went home. She died about 2 days later. And he died about 10 days after that.
Well, that paper says she died at Aunt Ned's. And her granddaughter, Nanny Moore.
I think that she was about 2 days after she got back there. But that's probably what she died of a broken heart. You know, she couldn't. She'd been healing so many people, and she couldn't do anything for her own son. So that was
She was an attractive lady, I thought. Very pretty.
I just wish we could. They always kept the record of the relations.
Yeah.
All I said, I went on my iTunes to see her record. To see the baby she delivered.
Well, I've gone to Effingham, Illinois. Up on I-70. I've gone through all the courthouse records up there, trying to find out where they come from. And then I went down to the one down that town right off of 64 goes from St. Louis to Louisville. Down that town down there, White County. I remember it being White County. Went to the courthouse down there and the library. And I got all that copies, but I haven't got any trace of them. And see, she was born in Kentucky. And Grandpa Parkhurst was born in Indiana. They got together somehow, and then they moved to Indiana, to Illinois, and then to Illinois down here to Oklahoma. That's as far back as I can get. I've been able to get dates and things to confirm that from the ones I've checked on so far. In my spare time, I've tried to get around getting all the courthouses. I've gone to 2 of them. There's another, but I think it might be the right one. But there's a cemetery in Effingham, Illinois, that's just full of Parkhurst tombstones. And I've been wanting to get there at the time of day. It seems like when I leave Tulsa, it's always dark time I get up there. And but I'm gonna arrange it when I get there time.
There's so many.
Yeah.
You never know what it is.
Well, there's a little house that's in Effingham. and there's a story about it. Now, we've got a cousin that works at the bank at Buffalo, Oklahoma. I don't know his name, but Yale got acquainted with it. Yale got that story about that, got that book, and Yale went down and made a copy of it. Flipped the pages, took Xerox copies, but he got the whole thing copied. And he's supposed to make me a copy, but he didn't. He died with his records, and I guess the boy didn't let the records get thrown away or whatnot. They had them all in that rental place up there, and they never did pay the rent. I think they just destroyed it. But next time I'm up to Buffalo, I'm gonna go by and see him and have him go home and get that book. I'm gonna go to the nearest place to copy it, and I'm gonna get me a copy of it. But it tells a story about the Parkhurst family and about this little house up there in that cemetery. And there's a Parkhurst that was a preacher up there in that area. Can't think what his name was. And then I run into the Parkhurst Street,
Go get that
St.
camera
Louis.
bag.
And there's a
Camera
Parkhurst
bag.
Street in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Camera bag.
And there's a Parkhurst Baptist Church in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Yale, there's a Parkhurst Street in Coffeyville.
The Parkhurst what?
Street in Coffeyville.
Street, is there? And in Woodward, Oklahoma, there's a building. It's got the plaque on it, Parkhurst Building. And but I'm gonna get by and see.
There's a Parkhurst.
Yeah, that's
Little Joe.
no, they originally come back from California. They branched off a bunch in California. Supposed to be the three brothers, you know. One stayed back east, two come west, to Illinois, and then really said, "Go west, young man, seek your fortune." So that one went to California, and the other stayed here. That's where Grandpa and our grandpa in Illinois. But the one at Parkhurst Trade Company and what's the name of it? Down Missouri, Sedalia, Missouri. Parkhurst Trade Company. It's a big concern. You can always see.
Do you remember little Joe Parkhurst? He
Yeah.
used to come and visit us, and he was a deputy.
Right. Well, see, he comes from it was Joe and Jess and Edith and Maggie and Maddie and Elmer. They come from Sam, Grandpa Dan's brother. And they were all raised around Oklahoma City. And he lived, well, I mean, the sense of the word dumb, I mean, he couldn't talk.
We enjoyed him so much.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember him as a little kid, and he was just really a neat person.
He lived in the Odeshade. He had a bunch of kids. I was trying to get somebody to get in touch with them on all this, getting this thing together. But
Sounds good.
I've got to get to Oklahoma City and get hold of Wesley Parkhurst. He was there last year, Dr. Wesley, out of Henrietta. So he and Yale was partners in the clinic and Elko a long time ago. And then they both took care of there was only doctor, they were doctored in Malika. They got a PA and got runs his clinic there. But they come down there every Tuesday. Yale did till he died. Now Wesley took over.
You want me to wipe this off?
Wesley,
You want me to throw this away? What relation?
he's on the great grandson of Uncle Sam. Great grandson of Uncle Sam.
When you
See,
said
Uncle
that,
Sam,
that was in that
and
TV.
Jess, and Jess and Floyd. He took his name. I think he was Wesley too. And then his son, Wesley is Wesley Jr.